We're talking about safe relationships. That's one of the things that great relationships do is they learn to hold out hope for people and get the other story. And, we're going to look at a story from the Bible where there's more going on than people see. And God is actually the only person that sees the whole story. And when I thought of this story, I was like, Lord, not Mother's Day. Because there's like a talking donkey in the middle of it. Sounds like Shrek, okay? It's one of the strangest stories in the Bible. I'm just going to be honest. But God has something to say to us. First of all, God's funnier than you. That's why we're looking at this story. But, man, God has something to say to us about relationships. Listen, there's always three stories. There's the facts that are going on, but then there's two more stories that most of us miss. There's the story that's going on inside the other person, and there's the story that's going on even inside of you that you don't see. And if you don't learn to get all three of those, you're going to wreck your relationships. You're going to make horrible decisions, and you're going to destroy your relationships in life. So we need God to speak to us. Numbers 22 is about a guy named Balaam. He's a prophet. He's kind of like a B-class prophet for God. He's not the greatest prophet. In fact, somebody hires him to go curse God's people. And he says no, but then he kind of goes with them anyway, which is probably not a wise thing to do. And because he goes with them on this trip, God's anger is kindled against Balaam. And he's riding his donkey. He's got his servants. So here's where we pick up. God's anger is kindled against Balaam because he went. So God sends an angel. That's never a good thing. So the Lord sends an angel, and it took his stand. The Lord took his stand in the way of his adversary Balaam. That's what the story says. Now Balaam is riding on the donkey. He's got his two servants with him. The donkey sees the angel. I don't know how, but somehow the donkey sees this angel of the Lord standing in the road, and the angel, it's even scarier, has a sword drawn in his hand. So the donkey's smart. He turns to the side of the road and went into the field, and Balaam strikes the donkey and turns her back into the road. So then the angel moves. The angel of the Lord stood in the narrow path between the vineyard and a wall. So the donkey sees the angel, pushes against the wall, and scrapes Balaam's foot against the wall. He gets angry, strikes the donkey. Then the angel of the Lord went and stood at this narrow place. There's no way to pass. There's no way either to turn to the right or the left. The donkey sees the angel, and she just lays down. Doesn't that sound like a toddler in Trader Joe's? He just lays down. Like, I give up. I ain't going anywhere. Balaam, in his anger, he strikes the donkey. Now, moms, you know what this frustration is like. You're not going to hit your kids, but you thought about it. When you're trying to get all your kids, anybody ever try to get all their kids in the van? That's like a miracle of Jesus. Kids act like they've never been out of the house before in their life. They leave without shoes, like, how'd you not bring shoes? It's like you're working against me. So then the story gets weirder. God allows the donkey to tell her side of the story. The Lord opens the mouth of the donkey. And now the donkey says to Balaam, Why have you done? What have I done to you? Why have you struck me these 3 times? And what's even weirder is Balaam talks back to the donkey. And listen to what he says. I want you to underline this, especially you guys. Because you made a fool of me. Now here's the question I've been asking all my friends. What is the emotion that Balaam is feeling right now? Is it anger? No. What is it, guys? He's embarrassed. It's his pride. He's embarrassed. And the reason I'm picking on you guys is, guys, we're not good at figuring out the real emotion that's going on inside of us. Pastor Matt says this all the time, and it's genius. He says, the only emotion in our culture that's appropriate for guys to show is anger. But really what's going on in guys a lot of times is we're scared. Or we're embarrassed. Or you're making it, you're at a restaurant and your kid's acting up and they're embarrassing you. You're not angry, they're embarrassing you. He said, you made a fool of me. I wish, this is ironic, I wish I had a sword right now in my hand. Who does have a sword? The angel. But he's like, I wish I had a sword. I would kill you. And the donkey says, am I not your donkey? Like, think about my track record, man. Am I not your donkey on which you've ridden all your life? Is it my habit to treat you this way? Balaam's like, no. God opens mouths before he opens eyes. Next, he opens the eyes of Balaam. And then he sees the angel. Then he sees the whole story and the sword. And then he bows down, fell on his face. The angel of the Lord starts to say to him, why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I've come out to oppose you because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me and was smart and turned aside. And if she had not turned aside, I would have killed you and let her live. See, the angel has a sword, but the angel's got more mercy than Balaam does. And when Balaam saw this, he said to the angel, I have sinned. That's called an apology. He says, I'm sorry, I've sinned. I did not know. I didn't see. You know how great our world would be if people could learn those two phrases? I heard you. I didn't understand what was going on. I'm sorry. I did not know. I didn't know you were going through that. I'm sorry. I didn't know that was your side of the story. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? You know how great our world would be if we did this? I want you to write this down. To have healthy relationships, I got to get the other story. We've got to get better at getting the other side of the story. There's always another story. There's always more to a story than you see. James 1 puts it like this, guys. Everyone should be quick to listen. Everyone, it doesn't matter what your Enneagram profile is, okay? Everybody should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become what? Angry.